I remember me and my teacher, we end up going inside the closet. And the first thing she says to me was, oh, so like, did you do the homework yet, Bubba? And I remember just looking at her thinking, what in the world am I doing in the closet playing 7 Minutes in Heaven with my teacher? Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another crazy but embarrassing story. So this story all starts off in the year of grade 8. Now, grade 8's the final year of middle school for me. And let's just say middle school is a whole freak show. Literally, it's the years where basically everyone's hitting puberty and things start to make more sense between your legs. I know that sounds really too much to say, but YouTube, please understand this is for educational purposes. Now, going on, I remember my grade 8 year, there was a girl in my class that not a lot of people liked for some reason. And by people, I mostly mean the guys. I really have no idea why a lot of guys in my school did not like this girl specifically, but she was not really well known or liked between all the dudes in my school. But as for the girls, well, almost every girl in my school absolutely loved her. I have no idea how this even worked. I didn't know if she was, you know, lesbian or something. But at the same time, we were in grade 8 and we didn't know any better. So honestly, I had really no idea why. Until one day I remember I was in my middle school walking down the hallway to my next class. And this girl that a lot of girls liked, but not a lot of guys liked, ended up walking up to me. She walked up to me and says, hey, Bubba, I don't know if you knew, but like, I'm having like a birthday party. And like, I was thinking, do you want to like maybe go? And as I was deciding in my head, I remember seeing a bunch of guys just staring at me thinking, yo, why is that girl talking to Bubba, bro? Is he snitching? And in my mind, as I knew they were just saying that, I was like literally trying to focus on the conversation at hand. And I said to her, yeah, I mean, I'm down. Where's the birthday party? Oh, it's totally at my place. A lot of girls said that like they thought you were like cool to go and like, you know, you didn't hate me or anything. So, you know, I'm trying to make it like more boy girl party. And like my parents are totally cool with it. So do you want to like go? Yeah, sure. Just send me the invite. I remember she ends up texting me the address and I start walking away from her. And as I was walking away, I remember two of my friends ended up walking up to me saying, yo, Bubba, why'd you talk to that girl, bro? Everyone's questioning it. All the guys are concerned. Oh, she just invited me to her birthday. Are you going? Well, I mean, yeah, why wouldn't I? Bubba, bro, as a homie, me and him are gonna show up with you, all right? You guys are gonna show up to the birthday party with me? Yeah, and don't worry, she can't say no because we're the cool kids. Sure. Okay, if that's how it works. Yeah, sure, you guys can go. I really had no idea why, but to be fair, in my friend group back when I was in grade 8, we had the really confident dude and we had the really annoying dude, and then there was just me, the quiet one. And knowing this group dynamic, we always got into crazy shenanigans. But let's just say this girl's birthday was one of the most insane things ever, because I remember the day of the party ended up happening. And I remember after school, everyone started talking about this party, and a lot of girls were coming up to me, actually, funny enough, and saying, hey, Bubba, are you going to like that girl's party? Yeah, I got invited. I'm bringing two of my friends. Okay, well, we'll see you there. Oh my goodness. And they all got excited. A lot of girls were excited for this party, and I had really no idea why. But then finally, when I ended up basically going to my final class to end off the day, I remember my teacher ends up saying, okay, class, so this weekend, do not email me. I'm celebrating my daughter's birthday, but have the homework done by Monday. All right, have a good weekend. And I remember thinking, huh, crazy how she has a daughter that's birthday is the same day as the birthday party I'm going to. But right as I walk out of the classroom, I remember I go home, I get dressed, I tell my mom I'm going to a birthday party. She was totally surprised because usually in grade 8, I was a loner and a really boring kid. Wow, my mom really thought less of me that time. But you know what? That's not the point. After I got ready and everything, I ended up basically begging my dad for a ride, and he ended up driving me to the birthday. And my dad ended up telling me right before leaving, he said, Bubba, if you need me to come pick you up and anything weird happens, you tell me and I'll get you, okay? Yeah, no problem, Dad, is what I told him. And then I ended up heading inside the party. When I went into this grade 8 middle school party, I remember I ended up seeing a lot of girls there, and I was like, okay, I see a lot of girls there from my school. But then out of nowhere, I see my two friends running up to me saying, Bubba, do you know whose house this is? No, why? And that's when I realized whose house it was. It was my teacher's house, because it was her daughter that invited me to her daughter's birthday. Does that make sense? I don't know if that made sense, but if it did, you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically, I was in my teacher's house, and I was like, yo, this is really weird. And as I see my teacher looking at me, and I'm staring at her, and she walks up to me and my friend saying, oh, hey, Bubba, I didn't expect my daughter to invite you guys. Yeah, no, we didn't know you lived here. Well, I did say my daughter was having a party, didn't I? Yeah, no, you did in class. We just didn't know, you know, it was your daughter. What do you mean? Do you guys not know my daughter's last name? It's the same as mine. No, we don't really know each other's last names, which to be fair, my grade 8 year, I didn't know anyone's last name. Okay, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. But I remember, as awkward as that conversation was, the girl that ended up inviting me, the teacher's daughter, ends up seeing me and runs up to me and gives me a hug. I end up giving her a birthday present, and then that's where everything just starts going really bad, because this girl really wanted to have like a proper girl and boy party, but there was only 3 dudes, which is the 2 friends I had and me. And as for the girl side of things, well, there was literally like a bunch of girls, so the ratio was like 3 to like 15, which is super weird in my opinion, and super awkward. But I remember it got to the point where as we were all hanging out in the living room, just talking and mingling, and I guess really just hanging out with each other like grade 8s do, I remember this girl that was her birthday ended up standing up on the coffee table saying, okay guys, we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play 7 minutes in heaven. Everyone get in the circle. And at that moment, I was just thinking in my mind, how in the world are we going to play 7 minutes in heaven with only 3 dudes and 15 girls? Like, this is making no sense whatsoever. But I remember we all ended up hopping into a circle, and this is where things get awkward because I remember my teacher walks in saying, oh my goodness, are you guys playing 7 minutes in heaven? I used to play this all the time. Let me join in. And that's when I looked at my teacher and looked at my friends, and my friends were totally confused on what in the world this teacher was doing. Like, we thought she was trying to make, like, you know, 7 minutes in heaven more PG, I guess. But honestly, this teacher full on just started to play. And as we started going through a few rounds of 7 minutes in heaven, automatically it was my turn to spin the bottle. And I remember as I was spinning the bottle, I was praying that it would land on anyone but my teacher or her daughter. And guess who it lands on? It landed on my teacher. At that moment, I started to panic inside, and I'm like, bro, like, do I have to? Is there like any way I can not do it? But then this teacher ends up standing up first and saying, okay, Baba, let's go inside the closet. And me, I felt terrified, and I really did not want to stand up. But then she ended up grabbing me by my shoulder, and she ends up basically standing me up, and we go inside the closet. As we're in the closet, I remember she ends up closing the door, and the closet was like super dark. Like, I could not see anything. But as I'm in there with my teacher looks at me and says, oh, so Baba, I'm just curious, did you end up finishing the homework? You're asking me about homework when we're in the closet, is what I told her. And that's when the teacher ended up saying something more crazy, which was, oh, I mean, if you want to do something else, just say so. And that's when she ended up basically pushing herself towards me, and we ended up doing the devil's tango in the closet. Yeah, I know, really crazy, but at the same time, super, super weird. And I remember we ended up being there for more than 8 minutes. Like, no joke, as the kids were literally yelling, okay, time's up, guys. Me and this teacher did not come out because we were trying to put on our clothes as fast as possible. And the most awkward part was that her daughter ended up yelling inside the closet saying, Mom, you can come out now with Baba. And me and this teacher, we ended up getting everything on as quick as possible. And my teacher was trying to speed run fixing her hair as I ended up just basically trying to buckle up my pants. And finally, when the closet door opens, we both walk out as if nothing happened. And right after the party, when everything was over, I remember my dad went to go pick me up. And as I'm walking out her door, my teacher grabs me by the shoulder and says, Baba, this is our secret and no one knows anything but me and you, okay? Yeah, I'll see you in class. And that's when I ended up leaving. I got inside my dad's car and pretended nothing happened. And I'm not gonna lie, luckily for that whole school year, my grade 8 year, I didn't have to do any homework. My teacher wouldn't give me any just to keep her secret, which, I mean, now it's not a secret anymore, but to be fair, I don't get her homework anymore since I'm a full-on adult now. So yeah, things change for the crazy. But honestly, if you guys don't believe this ever happened, then follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.